The official start of the NBA playoffs is today on 420. Smoke them if you got them. Erik and I are here to set you all up for 4 NBA games. Erik, I love the start of the NBA and the baseball playoffs because it's rare when we get days like this in basketball where you have basketball games all throughout the day and basketball kind of takes the center stage nationally. It's sort of like what we see with football or what happens with March Madness, when they kind of take over the weekend like that. So I love it when, in just about 2 hours from now, there's going to be an NBA game starting. There'll be 4 of them today, 4 more tomorrow, all throughout the day. Quality NBA basketball. I'm excited. We know what all the series look like now. Time to rock and roll, buddy.
Yeah, we got off to a good start yesterday.
Very good. Yeah.
Very good. So hopefully we can keep it coming.
Yep. We'll be taking a look at the betting lines. We're looking at DRF Sportsbook. We're going to be sharing some props with you from our friends over at Parlay Play. And just keeping an eye on things from yesterday. We saw in the early game, no surprise, Miami was able to get the job done even without Butler. Just had a little more there. Our plays in that game were pretty good. Hawkes had a great game too. And then in the late game, as we both were on the Pelican side, they were able to get the job done. Big V had a nice night as we were both expecting. So pretty good. A nice Friday for us to build a little momentum coming into Saturday.
Yeah, hopefully we can keep the ship going. Both first half unders hit. I had Pels game and half. JV and Kobe White's under comfortably hit. So that was good.
Yep. So seeing the ball well to start. Let's move on over to Saturday. 4 games on the slate. The first one of the 4 is the Magic at the Cavs. In this game, the Cavs are a current 5-point favorite over under around 207 in here. For me, Erik, the play that I have in this game, I play the Magic series overall. So that for me, I'll be watching them throughout the series, kind of hoping for them to win the series. So individually, I'm not going to play them in game 1, but the first play that I will have for them is going to be Jonathan Isaac over 6.5 rebounds. You and I have just been discussing Isaac the last week or so once we knew the series was set, and he could be a real key in the playoffs because he's one of the best defensive players in the world. Honestly, he's that good. He just has been limited because he's had some injuries. Physically, he hasn't been able to be out on the court all that much. But they've ramped up his minutes the last 2 games of the year. Instead of playing in like the 15-minute range, he was up to 26, 27 minutes. If we could get him in the 25 to 30-minute range, maybe even slightly above that, just being on the court, I think that'll enable him to just get the rebounds by being out there. This guy is a legitimate defender. They can have him defend all 5 positions. And I think a key for him, Erik, can he just hit 1 out of 3 threes, right? Can he just be out there and hit enough? Like I think about with a guy like Jared Vanderbilt, you can be a fantastic defensive player, but you have to be just good enough offensively. So that way they still respect you out there. My first play today is Jonathan Isaac over 6.5 rebounds.
I'm on the same one as 2. Last 2 games, when he played over 20 minutes, he hit this number. Last 2 games, when we saw his minutes increase, he was second on the team in rebounding chances per game with 15. When you look at his body of work for the season, when he played 20 minutes or more, he averaged 7 rebounds a game. I think with what he can do defensively, I think he's going to be able to get that 20-minute mark. And because of that, I think he's going to be able to hit it. The last 3 games, when he got 20 minutes or more, he did go over 8 rebounds in every single game. So what I did here is I played 1 unit on Isaac's over 6.5 rebounds. I got this really early when it first opened up at plus 117. Then I played 0.75 units on 8 or more.
Ladder.
And then I played half a unit on plus 10 or more at plus 430, a quarter unit on 12 or more at plus 1200. Then I also put a quarter unit on him to have a double-double at plus 625.
I like that. If you're right, you're going to be very, very right, and you will be rewarded. Jonathan Isaac, who Erik and I are leaning on for the prop in the Orlando-Cleveland game. Any other plays for you in this game?
Yeah, I did play the Cavs first quarter at -1.5. Magic are a slow starting team, 8th worst ATS in the league this season.
And offensively, they're not efficient. Honestly, they're just not good offensively, right? They're a good defensive team. Offensively, they don't have a lot. So they take a little while to kind of figure you out. They lean on Paolo a little bit more, and they're going to struggle to just overall to score. So for them, you're not expecting them to just get out to some real crazy lead, come out firing. That's just not the type of team they are. They'll probably feel it out a little bit more and try to keep it close defensively. Keep going though.
Yeah, for the season, they averaged the 4th fewest points in the fourth quarter. Flip side, Cavs 9th highest scoring team in the first quarter, averaging 29 points per quarter. Magic, no playoff experience. Cavs have been very vocal about last year how they had the deer in headlights and want to get off to a fast start. So I expect this first quarter to them to be very ramped up. To me, playoff betting is a lot about situational spots. I think this is a great situation. You have a young team making their first playoff appearance on the road against a team that disappointed last year, that it's historically starts off good. So I'm on them here. Plus, though, minus the 1.5 for the first quarter.
Let's move to game 2 of the 4-game slate today, Eric. We've got the Suns at the T-Wolves, and the T-Wolves are now up to a 2-point favorite. I locked this one in yesterday at Minnesota minus 1.5. My thoughts here is just that Phoenix is a little bit overvalued right now coming into this series because we saw Phoenix beat the crap out of them the last day of the season. Phoenix beat them 3 times this year. And then down the stretch, as I kind of pointed out when we did our full preview, Phoenix had a tough schedule on paper, but they were able to take advantage of a lot of teams that weren't complete. They were missing some of their key players. So I think some of their wins may have looked a little bit better. This is one of those matchups, though, that's very interesting because the regular season matchup certainly favored the Suns. But in looking at it more, I really do think you're going to get a bigger and a better series from Anthony Edwards because it may have been one of those things that didn't really make sense what they were doing defensively to him. I think he struggled a little bit. And I just feel like they don't really have the guys defensively to stick with Ant. If you're going to have to throw one of your better, because you're thinking like Durant's going to have to guard big in this series, right? Like he's going to have to guard up one of the bigs probably. So that leaves, is it Grayson Allen or Booker trying to stop Ant a little bit? Like, I just don't know if they have the personnel for Ant, if he's actually able to carry the load like I'm hoping. I played the Wolves in here, minus the 1.5. I locked it in. It's -2 right now. Talk to us about how you see this game and what your plays are, Wolves Suns.
I only have one bet in this game. I went Grayson Allen over 2.5 threes. He's gone over this 4 of his last 5, 2 of his last 3. Gone over it in 13 of 16 games since the All-Star break, averaging 7.3 attempts per game, which is up post All-Star break. 3.2 makes per game up post All-Star break, and 43% from deep. When you look at his body of work against the Timberwolves this season, he's gone over this total all 3 games. So I did Grayson Allen over 2.5 threes.
Anything else for you in the Wolves Suns?
No, to me, this is a learning series because I really feel
all of today is right. I mean, I have like a play or so, but in a lot of these series, remember, we've got a bunch of basketball to come. You don't have, unless you feel you have an edge before the series start, wait to see how it plays out. And then you can react to game 1 and you can, oh, hey, you know what? That line for their points total was too high. Like, let's keep playing it until it evens out and it gets to lower to where it should be, something like that. I'm doing a feeling out in a few of these games as well.
Yeah, I feel that this is the worst possible matchup for the Timberwolves with how they play defense. And Vogel's really good at changing stuff, but still staying true to what the team is. So I just kind of got to learn and watch this one.
Yeah, because someone's going to have to make an adjustment early in this series.
Correct.
And that's what makes it difficult is that I don't – one of these teams, if their coaches get stubborn, it might be the downfall of them. But as you pointed out, you don't want to immediately feel like, we have to make this change. But if you come in kind of proactive and just say, hey, playing this style won't work against this team, we have to do things a little differently, that could throw them off. Like if they came and were just had a different approach in game one, that could maybe give Phoenix a different look and have them kind of on the ropes already as far as whether they were coming into the game one expecting. So game one, Phoenix and the Wolves. Let's move to the Knicks and the Sixers. Erik, we've got the Knicks a 3.5-point favorite in this one. Over under is 208.5. I went under. I played under the 209 in this game. Just looking at the tempo of both these teams, that's just the way that they both play. The Knicks in particular, very, very slow. Philly with Embiid's injury, they're not going to want to be running up and down the court. Even Maxey's someone who's been pretty banged up and kind of not as efficient second half, like the last third of the season as he was earlier in the year. I just feel like this is going to be one of those slow it down, fight, like rock fight series. We saw it last year with Miami and with the Knicks. And I think that's going to be the case again. Without Randall there, it does eliminate another one of the Knicks scorers. I know Randall struggled in the playoffs. My point is just from an offensive standpoint, the Knicks are limited. They don't have a bunch of incredibly efficient and prolific scorers. But what they do have is a tough team who will just fight you and try to beat you up. And I think they are going to make Embiid really, really work in here. I played the under in this game, Erik, under 209.
I really want to take the Knicks here, but I
thought about it too.
This line has been ballooning up. The thing with the Knicks is they're going to play that slow, methodical pace. It's going to force Joel to play defense for the full 24 to 20 seconds. He was falling down when shooting free throws. This guy is so out of shape right now that.
And honestly, I think it's a combination of like he's actually still hurt too. Like you can see him wincing and grimacing, and like I don't even think he's like completely healthy and out of shape. I think he's actually hurting. He's fallen down, gone back to the locker room multiple times. I've been impressed with the way that this team has like been a pretty good team throughout the year, even with Embiid in and out. And it is a little disappointing because if you had a healthy version of Embiid, this is probably one of the better Philadelphia teams, the way they're built around him and the way that the East is set up this year. Right now, if this team had a healthy Embiid, we would probably hands down say they were absolutely the second best team in the East as far as having a chance to win the East. It could have been a really nice year for them the way things fell, but it's just so hard to trust the big man right now with what you're going to get out of him.
Yeah, and plus, like, they won that game off of Nicholas Batum. Do you really think Batum's going to go for over 20 points? Harris is a little upset with his role in his team. Kelly Oubre is a question mark. Anytime he's
Field
on the court,
is inconsistent. Yeah, you're not.
So I don't know. Like I'm not.
I just trust the Knicks more.
Yeah, even if Embiid was healthy, I just feel with the way the Knicks play, this is a perfect matchup for them. But I missed the number, so I'll sit this out. Maybe if New York gets down early and I can look to bet them live, that's what I'm going to do. But pre-flop, I have nothing going on.
Let's move to the final game of Sunday's 4-game slate, the Lakers and the Nuggets. And, man, I got to say, talking about this one, I'm obviously a Laker fan here. Win or lose, I think this is a way too high number to start where they start at 7. Last year, the Lakers got swept by the Nuggets. They've lost to them 8 times in a row. So I'm not going to pretend like they've had success against them recently. In the 4-game series, they lost by a combined 24 points. So they were not getting beat up at all. Every one of those games within the last 5 minutes was a clutch game. All of them. The key for me is, and I don't know if the Lakers are good enough defensively to beat Denver in a series. I think the Lakers are good enough offensively to beat Denver in a couple games. What's different this year versus last year? Last year, the Lakers came into the Denver series. They were not a good shooting team at all. LeBron had missed like 23s in a row coming into that game. D'Angelo Russell wasn't even playing anymore. The Lakers started Schroeder in game 1 of the Nuggets series with D'Lo. They started small. They had 3 different starting lineups in the 4 games of the series. You're just not going to get that this year. The Lakers know who they are. They have a 5-man starting lineup that's one of the best in the league. They're incredibly efficient offensively. they're just not as good defensively because they don't have Vanderbilt. They don't have some others. So that's how they're going to have to win games, Erik, outscoring Denver. Can they do that? I think so. Two times, three times, and then do you roll it up to luck afterwards? So how do they win? How do they have a competitive game one? It has to be two guys, in my opinion, LeBron and D'Angelo. So those are the two guys in game one I'm going to play. I'm going to go LeBron's combo points assists. I think we saw this in the Pelicans game, the last game of the year, when he was really facilitating in the first half, finding guys, hitting Rui on cuts, hitting D'Angelo everywhere, just making sure that, hey, the rest of my guys might be a little nervous right here. I've been down this road a million times. I'm going to get them in their spots. So I'm going to go LeBron over 34.5 points and assists. I mean, obviously he can score 34 points, 35 points himself, but I'm thinking 24, 12, something along those lines for LeBron tonight. And then D'Lo, over 16.5 points. He has to score for them. There's no Bruce Brown. I don't think he will have nearly as much of a problem scoring himself. Defensively, just having the options of Gabe Vincent, Spencer Dinwiddie will give D'Angelo a little bit of a respite. I just don't think there's going to be as much pressure on him in order to perform. And ever since the trade deadline, Erik, guys go one of two ways. D'Angelo had all these trade rumors. He seemed like a guy who we weren't sure how he was going to react. And then he had a talk with Darvin Ham, and he kind of just said, F it. And you saw the way he was playing the other night against the Pelicans. He's like pumping their crowd up, talking shit to their bench a little bit. I think that's actually the best version of D'Angelo, where he's kind of taken all of this and said, dude, I'm a really good basketball player. I'm a really good offensive player. I'm just going to get out of my own head, and I'm going to do what I do well. His over-under for points is 16.5. That's plus 102. For 45 games, he's been a 20-plus point guy, shooting 43%. So I'm going to go D'Angelo tonight over points. I'm going to go LeBron points assists there with those two. And then I'm just kind of curious the way the Lakers will match up with Denver defensively, and I'll see, because someone on Denver is going to get some open looks. My first initial thought is it's KCP, because that's probably who D'Angelo will have to be on. And so I might end up coming back game two to KCP if it looks like he's the guy that's they're going to cheat off someone, right? They have no choice. Because you're going to be giving Jokic, you're going to be giving Murray as much attention as possible. Porter Jr. is going to be getting some. So it's like Gordon and KCP are the guys that unfortunately you have no choice, but you have to cheat off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this series is the ultimate. Let's just kind of sit back and kind of see what happens. There's a lot of stuff going on. You mentioned Michael Porter Jr. His brother is suspended. His other brother is in jail. So he's got some stuff going on. We don't really know how mentally tough he is going to be going into this game, but I did take him to have a double-double. It's at plus 460. To me, that's just too good of a price to pass up. He was
10 for 10 when they played the Lakers earlier this year in one of the games. He was 10 for 10.
He had a double-double in every playoff game last year.
Yeah.
So, and he's looking a lot more a lot more confident in everything that they're doing. You just kind of look at him against the Lakers. These are his last three games against the Lakers: 25-10, 27-8, 12-12. So 2 out of the last 3, he's had a double-double against the Lakers, had a double-double in all the playoff games last year. So I did plus 460. But I'm going to say this. I think the best thing you can do in this game is not really look at how this game turns out, but take game 2 exactly off of openers, because that game's a quick turnaround. That's on Monday. That's a lot of games back-to-back with the Lakers team. So I think that's the best bet, is look on game 2 as soon as that market opens. Just take the Nuggets off of openers, because I feel you're going to get a better effort in game one, as crazy as it sounds, from the Lakers.
You have to. Well, think about it. If you're LeBron right now and you're playing this out in your head, I think we saw him in the 2 Pelicans game. The one Sunday, he was awesome, incredible, had a bounce in his step. He was defending Zion, and now he's going to have to do similar in this series. Like, they're going to need a lot of LeBron defending Jokic. They're going to need a lot of LeBron with the big body on Jokic. He's not going to be able to do that every game. So for LeBron, can he do that every other game or as close to that as possible? And I think that's how he's looking at this series, going, you know what? I've had 4 days off now. I'm going to be as healthy as possible right now. I go all in game one. We try to steal this game. I give them everything I've got. And then can we steal game one, get one of the two out of there? Not that you just give away game two, but then you steal the one, you already feel like you did your job up there. Then you get the extra day of rest before you come back to LA, right? Can he try to play it that way and go, okay, these days when I'm getting the extra rest, those are the days that mentally and physically, I just got to be ready to go, because I don't think we can get the effort from LeBron every game. I think we can every other. And that's kind of what you need in a playoff series like this. You have to capitalize on the games when he gives you that effort, and that has to be a win. Last year, LeBron had 40 points in a game and they lost. Last year, LeBron had an unbelievable first half in game 4 and they still lost. It didn't matter. So, can they start the game better now with a better starting lineup? Can I look at them and think there are things from last year that are this year that could be different? And, hopefully, not for your bet. Hopefully, if your bet with Porter Jr. loses today, one of the reasons might be that Rui is on him a little bit more, and it's just size. Because like last year, I think some of the times he's matching up with Austin Reeves, and he just has no shot in those situations. And so if things are able to work themselves out where the Lakers just aren't so mismatched, and just like that, like Michael Porter Jr. can shoot over Austin Reeves or D'Angelo anytime. There's just nothing those guys can do about it. Rui's not an incredible defender, but at least he's big enough to where he can throw his hands up, and Porter Jr. is not just going to shoot over him, bully him, take him down in the post, rebound over him. Like you said, fascinating matchup. Two very good teams. This was the Western Conference final last year, and we'll get an opportunity to see it in round one. Erik, any final thoughts on this one before we get out of here?
Parlay play. We got to do that next.
Yep. Damian Lillard is got the slash line for today. So, or that's for tomorrow's game. So if you want to play a parlay, like, throw that one in as the freebie because it's over 0.5 points.
Correct. So, I mean, that's, basically just a free square. What I did is I just did Isaac's over 6.5 rebounds.
Same.
Grayson Allen over 11.5 points.
I went Isaac and D'Angelo points. So, and then I parlayed them with Dame. So I have those two with the Dame one for tomorrow. And then tomorrow when we talk, I'll give you a couple more and I'll throw that Dame one in as well. I figure, like, if you're playing a parlay, just throw that one in as the free leg to try to enhance it a little bit more. So 4 games today, lots of plays for us. We'll be back again tomorrow talking about the 4 Sunday NBA games on the slate. Love this time of the year. Since we recorded this one on Saturday. Sunday, we might be able to go live. So if we are live, we'll let you know when we are, because we'd love to hear from you. We'd love comments, and we will go back and forth with you. So we'll always be showing these at noon Eastern on Saturday, Sunday. We'll be playing them 6 o'clock Eastern on Monday through Friday. So some days Erik and I will have to record them a little bit earlier based on our schedule, but we'll always have them play at the same time so you know when to tune in. And any of the times that we're doing it live, we'll let you know, so that way we can go back and forth, answer any questions you have, or share any of your best bets with the folks that are watching. Erik, buddy, let's crush it today, my friend. Good luck to you. For anyone who is looking to play parlay play, make sure to get involved and use our promo code. I'll flash it up on the screen one more time for you. NFL Betting Blitz. from parlayplay.io. Good luck in all of your plays today. We'll be back again tomorrow talking 4 more NBA games. Good luck.